If you've ever had sore feet breaking in skates or your foot cramps, you know how the foot has a huge impact on your performance on the ice. We're also going to talk about how it can impact your hips, and we're going to give you some solutions. Maybe a little foot yoga, if you will. Your feet don't have all day, so let's dive right in. What got me thinking about making this video is a goalie that I was working with who had some hip pain, and the hip pain kind of started a little gradually over time. And so when I was lucky enough to be able to assess him hands-on in the gym. When I did my assessment, obviously I looked at his hip, how his back moved, his knees, his ankles, everything really checked out fine. Relative strength was good. It was a bit puzzling. And so the only thing when I looked at him doing a body weight squat, the only thing I noticed was that his feet kind of did funny things, or it's like, that doesn't look quite right. So we just started looking at, there's a famous physical therapist named Shirley Sarman, who I took a course from her probably 20 years ago. But the thing that stuck in my head was, we look at what looks most not right, and we try to make it look right. And then we look for the next thing that looks most not right. So I was like, well, that's the thing that looks most not right. Like, otherwise this guy's moving really well. So I'm going to share with you some of the techniques. Obviously we incorporated these techniques, but then added to his individual, like his custom training program. He was in the Turning Pro coaching program, specific exercises to challenge that, once he had a foundation. But these are some of the exercises that we started with. And what's really cool is that over the course of the first 2 weeks, that hip pain went away. So let's get at it. Before we dive into the first exercise, I need to share a little something with you, and I want your advice on it. Every time I'm in a video in bare feet, I don't think it's the same person, but there are people who will be like, "Ooh, I love your feet." And I'm not sure if it's just me. Is that a little creepy or no? Is that just like, well, that's nice. They really like my feet. Drop a comment. Let me know because I don't know. You let me know. Okay, the first exercise that we work on is a little toe extension. And you'll probably have never thought of toe extension before, but you will realize how important it is when you do this exercise. You'll realize how much you're lacking when you do this exercise. So this is what it looks like. And go gentle. We're not gonna force your range of motion here. So you're going to get in this kind of a kneeling position, but with your toes up. So not toes flat like that, but with your toes up. And then you're going to sit back on your heels a little bit. And it doesn't matter if you can't sit all the way back on your heels, just go with what you can. But you're going to feel a real stretch across your toes and in behind your toes. So again, you're not going to force it. And if you want to come forward a little bit, put your hands on the ground, put your hands on your knees just to take some of the force off. That is totally fine. We're not trying to force our toes into submission here. This isn't torture. It's just a little exercise. You're going to start by holding for 10 to 15 seconds and then take that pressure off. And then you're going to do 4 repetitions like that. And then you'll gradually try to build up. So, okay, well, now I can hold for 20 seconds and I'm going to do 10. Now I can hold for 40 seconds. Now I can do that for a minute. You're not going to try and work your way. Don't email me and be like, I did that toe thing for 30 minutes straight. I won't be impressed. I'll be mad. But you'll build up to about a minute or so. The next one I like to call big toes, little toes, because it kind of sounds like a kid's song. But what you're going to do is try to alternately pick up just your little toes. I'm pretty good at that one. And your big toes. So you're trying to lift up your little toes, keeping your big toe on the ground. Then you're trying to keep all 4 of your little toes on the ground and lift up your big toe. And you might have trouble that you're like, okay, no, they're all connected. You'll be focusing so hard and they'll all lift up. So it's totally acceptable to just put your finger on the one you're trying to keep down and then take your hand away. Or if you're trying to keep these down, just put your fingers there, find the right muscle, but then take your hand away again so that you kind of get the feel. But then you'll learn, because they are different muscles that control your little toes, and your big toe has its own muscles. It's called the extensor hallucis. So find out how to do that. You're going to do 5 of each, and you're going to hold for 5 to 10 seconds as you go through that. So by now, let's address the elephant in the room. I have very long toes. I know. My friends in university used to tease me that if I ever lost a finger, they could just cut off one of my toes and no one would be the wiser. I can't explain it. I'm a relatively small person, but I have very long, skinny feet and toes. Just is what it is, I suppose. My grandmother was very pleased because she was Greek, and my second toe is longer than my big toe, which apparently means I'm Greek. They are definitely a little shy. There they are. Okay, let's get on to it. Exercise number 3. Your next toe yoga exercise is towel crunches. So obviously the towel, it's better if the towel isn't on turf. If it's on some kind of smooth surface, this is just concrete floor. And use like a hand towel, size towel. And then all you're going to do is start with your feet at the edge of the towel and then alternately curl your toes to scrunch up the towel. Now you'll get to a certain point where the towel kind of bunches up under the arch of your foot and you can't get any further. So then just straighten it out a little bit and start again. And you're going to do that for a minute. You might get a foot cramp. And if you do, just take a little rest, let it go away, and then try again. You've probably heard me or other strength coaches talk about the foot tripod, which is basically the base of your big toe, little toe, and your heel, your calcaneus. So those, well, be these points on your foot. And the importance of keeping that foot grounded when you're doing exercises like squats and things like that. Now, ideally, you know the TheraBand that's like a ribbon, a ribbon resistance band, that's better for doing this. But I just use my lightest super band that I have. You could also use a mini band. But I'm putting that just a little bit under the base of my big toe. So it's not under the ball of my foot. It's just a little bit under the base of my big toe. And then I'm going to put a bit of pressure on it. So I'm just pulling up on it, again, just a little bit. And then I'm going to do a single leg squat with a 4-1, 4-1 tempo. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going slow like that, and I want to keep that base of the big toe down. A lot of you will want to roll a bit to the outside of your foot when you squat. You don't have quite the stability there. You don't have that good tripod. And so then what happens is this is going to pop out on you. So big thing here, don't stick it half under your foot so you're really mashing it down. It's just a little bit under the base of that big toe, and then you're keeping constant pressure on that as you squat, keeping your good knee alignment. So as you squat down, you need to pull up a little bit to keep that pressure on. And for that little mini squat, you will do 6 reps on each side with that nice slow tempo. Big reminder, I don't want you clawing at the ground with your toes when you do any of these, but in particular that last one. The key is to keep, well, the base of that big toe down, not grab the ground with your toes. You can do these exercises every other day. They are not intended to treat an injury. So if you have an injury or plantar fasciitis or something like that, go see the physical therapist. But these are good foot yoga exercises, foot maintenance exercises for you. Being yoga, I don't know if maybe there's like a little foot yoga mat you could get, or if Lululemon has like foot yoga socks that you could get, but it'd be worth looking into. And remember, it all starts from the bottom up. So if our feet don't work, it's going to impact how we use our ankle, which is going to impact how we use our knee, which is going to impact how we use our hip, which is going to impact how we use our lumbar spine. You get the idea. If you want to make sure we're looking after every part of your chain, if you want to work together, check out the link in the description to explore some options of how we can make that happen, so we make sure your whole chain is looked after. Otherwise, I will catch you in the next video. Same bat time, same bat channel. I love you guys. And you're going to do some down dog and upward facing dog. Now moving into sun salutation. That's it. Be very zen, big toe. Zen.